Hello and welcome back to my channel, AJ Budgets. I am AJ and I am so thankful that you are here with me today. In today's video, we are going to be doing a January 2026 monthly recap. I did a no spend. I spent some money during that no spend. I set some goals for January and I just wanted to come in and recap and see where we at, and then where are we headed. So do I want to make any adjustments or do I want to continue some things going into February? So if that sounds like fun, then come along for the journey because we're going to get into it. Okay, so I think the first thing that we're going to do is just take a quick look at my January calendar. This does look different than whenever I did my plan with me because this is the agenda that I use for my daily, and so I add all kinds of things to this as things come up, and then I also track things on here. And so I did my no spend month as well this month, and I track that on my no spend tracker here in my next paycheck binder. But I also track it on my agenda because, again, I like everything to be in one spot. And then I erase my no spend tracker every single month. I guess I could show you that. Sorry. I am filming this before the end of January because I'm going on a conference. So we are at January 30th right now. So I leave for a conference on the 1st. So I wanted to get this filmed. That way I can add in my last minute stuff and then get it uploaded before I leave for that conference. And I'll be gone for that for 3 days. But anyways, so I went ahead and I tracked out my green spending, which are my no spend days, my blue spending, which are my bills days, and then my red spending, which is pink on here, which are my spend days. And I know I'm going to have a spend day tomorrow. So I went ahead and marked that pink because I am going out to eat with my dad and my stepmom before I leave and before they leave. So full transparency there. I'm going to be buying some more stuff because I do have to go to Walmart and get a couple things as well. But anyways, we'll talk about that in my next weekly wrap up. So we're just going to not pay attention to that little pink dot. But I did set some step goals. I had my no spend rules. I wanted to track my classroom spending because I have to collect it for taxes every year. And then in December or January, when I start figuring out my taxes, it's a whole ordeal to go back and figure out how much I spent in my classroom. And so I figured, why don't I just track it? So added that. And then I wanted to track out my no spend, like how many days, and then how much should I save in comparison to my excess spending from last month. And then one of my main goals was to do weights 2 times a week. And so I have a lime green circle on the days I did weights. And then read at least one book this month, which I did read The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. So I'm going to get that there as well. So let's get all of my goals added on here. Okay, so I have all of the things filled in so we can talk about them now. I'm going to leave out my average steps per day until the 31st, and then I'll record me coming back in and then adding my average steps, and then I'll get that added to the video. Like I said, I only have 2 hours on Sunday before we leave. It's like a 3-hour drive. And so I want to go ahead and get that filmed, and then as we're driving, I can get the video edited. But I want this video to go live next Wednesday, which I'll still be at my conference next Wednesday. So AJ from the future here. It is January 31st and I am getting ready to go to bed. It's about 10 p.m. And so I'm getting ready to take my watch off and charge it. So we have the official step count for the month and my average is 18,682. Did pretty good on my no spend. Like I said, I'm only going to have 2 days of spending. I was able to do 20 days of no spending, 9 days of budgeted spending. So 29 total days of no spending plus budgeted. And then I'm going to have 2 spend days. And then I'm going to have to come in and redo this total because I don't know how much I'm going to be spending tomorrow. But so far this month, I've saved $338 in comparison to my excess spending in December. So I'm hoping this is at least 250 or higher. But like I said, when I come in and I redo my steps, I will update this as well on Sunday. So weights, I wanted to do 2 times per week, which should be about 15 to 16 days. And I was able to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 days of weights. I was able to get a weighted vest at like the Amazon return bins at my local grocery store. And so that is perfect for me because I walk a lot. You're going to see my average day of steps right now is averaging over 18,000 a day. So I walk a lot. I walk up to 10 miles a day. And so adding the weighted vest is a really easy way for me to add weights to something that I'm already doing. I find if I have to like make an extra effort to do extra exercise, it's not going to be something I continue with. And so when I looked at adding weights, it was like, what is something that I can go ahead and add on to what I'm doing? And then I read the last letter. We had a bunch of snow. I've started a bunch of different books, but I haven't really finished it. I don't know, I just kind of like it was snowy and I was like in for reading vibes and I would get like a few chapters in and be like, oh, I want to do more like romantic situation. Then I'd get into that and I'd be like, no, I want to go back to fantasy. And so I was like jumping around on books a lot during my snow days, but I did finish that last letter. Highly recommend. I love Rebecca Yarros. So I think the next thing that we're going to do is get some of my goals set for February. And then I do have a couple of envelopes I need to add to my savings challenges and sinking fund. So I had a couple of things. I had a bill that I just totally forgot about. Before I get started, I wanted to set my no spend rules and then go over, just kind of remind myself what my goals were for February. So let's get into that. Let me bring you in just a little closer here. Okay. So I definitely want to keep my steps per day. My goal is to do 17,500 steps a day. And I've been doing really good at that for the last, I think I'm on like a 600-day streak at right now, 600 and some odd day streak, which is amazing. My no spend rules, I wanted to set myself 3 no spend rules. So obviously, my first one is always pay bills on time. I had to pay my credit card interest one month last month, whenever I was switching my accounts over, and I like pay bills on time. Don't want to be paying interest or anything like that. I think my second no spend rule is gonna be no unbudgeted spending. And then I am gonna have to spend some on my classroom, and I typically like my kids love the grandma candies. Don't ask questions. I just buy them what they ask for. But they love the little strawberry candies and butterscotch. Again, no questions. I don't know. But they sell them at the Dollar Tree. They have a really good packages of them, and they're still $1.25. Shocking, I know. But I am gonna have to buy some more candy. I open 2 bags a week, and I had stocked up back in December because they don't always have the butterscotch candies. So, over Christmas break, I stocked up on a bunch, and so I have enough to get me through the second week of February. But I am going to have to buy some candy for my classroom. So I think what I'm going to do for my weekly cash is I put my excess money for my weekly cash in this dollar bills y'all savings challenge, and it has a die that you can roll to save the money. It's an 8-sided die because there's 8 different numbers. And I think what I'm going to do is when I pull my weekly cash, I'm going to roll it, and then I'm going to pre-pull my weekly cash, and that's going to go into my savings challenge, and then whatever's left over is what I have to spend for the week, because the maximum it can be is 8. So that still gives me $7, which will be enough money to buy like candy for the kids. So I think that is what I'm going to do. No spend rules is going to be roll, die, and pre-save. And then that also will give me a couple of extra dollars. It's really hard for me to keep doing the no spend month after month after month, because there's just like little things that come up. And then that'll give me some, like if maybe I need something that's like $15, I can save my weekly cash for a couple of weeks and then buy that. Instead of doing like a spending day. So I'm going to see if that kind of helps mitigate. I want to have an all green and blue month. And so I'm trying to think of different ways that I can can do that, because you can't anticipate everything coming up in the month, but I'm going to try to do what I can. Oh, we aren't even done talking about my goals. I'm getting very excited about my things. I'm going to continue tracking my classroom spending. I want to continue doing my weights 2 times a week. My goal is to finish at least one of the 4 books that I started over the snow days in January. And then I want to spend more time with friends and family this month. And so I didn't set a goal day, but I like in my mind, I want to try to do like at least once a week. So last thing we're going to do is, like I said, I have a couple of envelopes that I need to add to my rotation. I'm in a sorority that we meet once a month. It's a teaching type of sorority where you meet with different teachers or people who are women in education focused. And we have annual dues, and I have no explanation on why I forgot about the annual dues until they were due, when I've had to pay them every year of my adult life. But here we are. So we are going to add this to my sinking funds, and these are just my bills that come up a couple times a year to annual, and this is an annual, so we're going to put it in the household section because it's just a random like household type, personal type bill that comes up. So I'm going to get that in here, and we are going to add in the vinyl. Of course, I still do not have transfer tape, so we're gonna just use some good old Scotch tape and hope it works. The symbol for this sorority is the daisy, so I printed out a little daisy. I thought that would be cute. So sometimes I get crafty. I like getting crafty. I've been actually creating some savings challenges, which in my savings challenge video last week, you would have seen I've created some new challenges. I have a freebie challenge that's available right now. It's my no spend tracker. So definitely check that out. It's on my Ko-Fi, and I do have it linked in the description down below. The next thing I need to add is a savings challenge. And I'm going to put this in, let's see, in the like July-ish area in my savings challenge binder. I'm still really close to my ex's family. So we were together for over 20 years. His baby sister, who I first met when she was 10, almost 11 years old, she came and stayed with us. And she is 30 now, over 31. She just found out that she is pregnant with my little new niece or nephew. And so every year when I go to Michigan because that's where her in-laws live. And I'm also close with her in-laws. And so we go and stay. Her in-laws have a lake house, and there's Airbnbs and stuff there on Lake Huron. And so we all meet up there for a family vacation. And so I go there in July to see her. And then my ex-mother and father-in-law, and then my other ex-sister-in-law and my 4 nieces and nephews, and her husband will also be there. So I get to see the whole family. I'm so excited. But we're gonna throw her a surprise baby shower when we're there. And so I wanted to save some money for that. Just to intentionally spend and save for that. I made this. This is by me. I'll get it in my Ko-Fi shop, but I put $125. It's going to be like a baby sprinkler, diaper sprinkle, but that'll get me some decorations, and then I can also buy a few things. Obviously, I've already been collecting things, and I'm learning how to crochet, which is going to be some of my unbudgeted spending tomorrow because I need to practice crocheting things. So I need to buy some yarn and stuff. So yay, that's it. Okay, and then I totally forgot. I saw the Canva envelope, and then I totally forgot that I cut vinyl for my Canva envelope, which I added. Oops, wrong binder. I added a couple of weeks ago. I decided that I was going to buy the annual subscription for Canva. And so I've budgeted in starting to save for that annual subscription in my monthly budget. And so I just handwritten Canva on the envelope and said, I need to cut vinyl for that. And now we have vinyl for her. So, okay, very cute. So we'll get Canva added back in here. And now I have all of my vinyl done for my envelopes. I love it. Welcome back to my sinking funds, or my electronic sinking funds tracker. We are going to update my totals, total contributions and withdrawals for the month of January. So I have my binders here with me, and we're just going to go through and start tracking how much we contributed in January. So I've already did the first couple just to make sure my formulas were working for this line. So we contributed 25 to birthdays, and then we withdrew nothing. And so I went in at the early January and I set up all of my dates that I want to achieve my funds by, and then how much I wanted to have in that envelope. And then it tells me automatically how much I have saved once I enter in my contributions, and then how much I have remaining to go, and how much I need to save each month in order to make that goal happen, which is one of the reasons I love this, because I can just visually see my progress. So putting $25 into birthday got me 10% towards my goal. Then for Christmas, I put in 100 and then I took out 100, and then I went ahead and changed my goal from 1,200 to 1,100, because I only need to get 1,100 more dollars, because I'm going to spend and save in this account throughout the year. So as I'm spending, that total goal amount is going to go down. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm just going to go through the rest of my funds here in my envelope and add in how much I added for January. Up here at the top, it shows me how much I've contributed each month for January and February, and this will look a lot better. Like, you'll be able to see how much I've contributed over time as we get more and more months on there. So right now I should have 4 goals met, because my emergency funds plus my medical deductible is fully funded, and I have 16 unmet goals to go. And again, I need to save about $815 a month in order to make that happen. I want to say thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. What are your goals for February 2026? How can we help keep each other motivated? Because motivation, man, as the months go on and the weeks go on, motivation just slowly goes downhill. But anyways, I hope you are doing incredible, and I hope you have an incredible start to your February 2026. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.